Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
This was clearly the video shows this was an out-and-out assassination.
Breaking now on News 6, you heard it. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood says an off-duty officer wasn't just murdered. He was shot repeatedly in the head. What we know about how this unfolded at a Circle K.
New video shows the moments leading up to a deadly Brightline train crash, what it shows. And we're asking what's being done to cut down on these collisions.
Puts all things in perspective. The appreciation of a blink.
New at 10, FSU's head coach says he was there when a player from Sanford opened his eyes weeks after being shot in the head. What it means for Ethan Pritchard's recovery.
The pictures are dramatic. A local elementary school trashed, and deputies say the young vandals were turned in by their own moms.
$190 million. The state CFO says that's how much Orange County has misspent. But he's short on specifics how Orange County's mayor is blasting back.
But we start now at 10 with our breaking news.
The video is probably something in 38 years of law enforcement that I can tell you, it's unbelievable what we see in that video.
That's Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood talking about the murder of an off-duty officer at a convenience store. I'm Ginger Gadsden. Thank you for joining us.
I'm Matt Austin. The sheriff and Edgewater's police chief confirmed the man killed was Officer David Jewell. He's been on the force there for 2 years. Detectives say he was shot at the Circle K on Ocean Shore Boulevard and Wisteria Drive just after 4 p.m. today. And they say it was a clear position that a clerk at that store pulled the trigger over and over again.
News 6's Troy Campbell is outside the Circle K in Ormond by the Sea tonight. Troy.
Yeah, the sheriff says this was pretty senseless. Right now, we're standing outside of the Circle K. We're as close as we can get to the gas station. That is because there is still crime tape completely surrounding the area. Sheriff Chitwood also tells us that the pickup truck right here parked at the gas station is the victim's. Now, Sheriff Chitwood says the victim, Edgewater police officer, 45-year-old David Jewell, came to the Circle K gas station just after 4 p.m. this afternoon, off duty and not in uniform. Chitwood says surveillance video shows the gas station clerk, 24-year-old Eduardo Machado, then go outside to his vehicle and retrieve a handgun wrapped in clothing. Investigators say for an unknown reason, when Jewell got up to the register, Machado fired at least 5 rounds at Jewell. Chitwood says video evidence shows Machado then reloading his gun and firing several more shots, killing Jewell. It's estimated he was shot between 10 and 15 times. Machado was taken into custody at the scene a short time later. Edgewater police say Jewell was sworn in as an officer back in June of 2023. Chitwood tells me Jewell worked as a dispatcher for the Volusia Sheriff's Office prior to that, and he's calling this a senseless killing.
The video is crystal clear over everything that occurred. It's my understanding that David and Eduardo know one another. Eduardo knows that David is a police officer. Why this occurred is what we're trying to figure out. But this was clearly the video shows this was an out-and-out assassination. David is not in that store a minute when Eduardo, who's the clerk in that store, walks out, goes to the car, retrieves the jacket. He can't see what it is because he walks in with the jacket over his arm, and then in the video he pulls the jacket off and holds out his hand from point-blank range and just opens fire. And I said the most disturbing thing is when David goes down, the gun jams, and he stands over top of him, clears it, and then stands over top of him and fires a bunch more shots till he empties the clip.
If it's who I think it is that did the shooting, Eduardo was just a really quiet clerk. I did know the cop that from the Edgewater cop, and it's a tragedy.
You said he lives here in this neighborhood.
He did. It's a tragedy that it came down to this.
And again, Chitwood says right now they're still working to determine a motive. And the acting police chief for Edgewater says that Jewell was someone you could always rely on and is calling this a tremendous loss for their department. Live in Ormond by the Sea, I'm Troy Campbell, News 6.
Just awful. Troy, thank you. Developing tonight at 10, it's a staggering number by any stretch, $190,643,653. Florida's chief financial officer claims that's how many tax dollars Orange County is wasting. Money he says could instead be used to cut your property taxes. But Blaise Ingoglia was short on specifics, only promising those details will be coming soon. In response, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings calls this all political. He defended his county budget and gave us a hint at what could lie ahead for his political future. Here's your Orange County community correspondent, Mike Valente.
Remember those letters about the Doge audits spearheaded by CFO Blaise Ingoglia? Well, Orange County was on the receiving end of one of those this summer. And it appears that ever since, the relationship between the state and Orange County has only deteriorated.
Hold on to your hats.
Just weeks after he issued subpoenas to 16 Orange County employees suggesting they were obstructing the state Doge audit, Blaise Ingoglia dropped the hammer again on Orange County, accusing the local government of overtaxing residents by nearly $200 million.
The $190 million worth of excessive wasteful spending that we see here in Orange County is enough to stop me, if I was a legislator, for putting in any appropriation for Orange County, because they've proven that they have not spent their current tax dollars wisely. You're not going to go and spend our state tax dollars unwisely.
The rhetoric that you heard today is simply political.
Mayor Jerry Demings dismissed Ingoglia's claims, accusing the CFO of using, quote, fuzzy math to reach his findings about things like the increase in the general fund budget over the past 5 years.
They can say that we don't know what we're talking about, and the Doge efforts, when we come out, will show some specific instances of what they're actually spending on, but it doesn't make any sense.
The CFO ought to get his own house in order first before he starts looking in someone else's house.
Demings defended the county spending, pointing to investments in public safety and the need to account for not only a growing population, a figure he and Ingoglia disagreed on, but also the 200,000 people who visit here every day. Ingoglia is not buying it, claiming that the county right now could afford to reduce its millage rate and offer people property tax relief. And he made a point to call out the mayor himself.
You have a mayor now who's deciding that he wants to run for governor. This type of spending should be disqualifying.
I'm not saying that I'm not going to run for governor. Given these things that's been happening, I just might do that.
As for those 16 subpoenas of Orange County employees, Ingoglia says investigators will begin to interview them in the next couple weeks. I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Mike Valente, News 6.
New at 10 tonight, some big news and a hopeful sign in the recovery of a Florida State linebacker from Sanford. Ethan Pritchard was shot in the back of the head 2 weeks ago in what family members call a case of mistaken identity. Well, today, FSU head coach Mike Norvell told reporters he was there when Pritchard opened his eyes for the first time.
Yesterday, he opened his eyes, and it was something that was emotional for everybody, to be honest with you. And, it's still a long part of the progress, in his process moving forward. But it was, it puts all things in perspective, the appreciation of a blink. And, he is, he's fighting, his family, is there, so very supportive as we go through life. I mean, it is, it's so very precious.
The appreciation of a blink. Pritchard was dropping family members off at a home in Havana last month when he was shot. 4 people were arrested last week in connection with the shooting, including an unnamed minor. Pritchard was a star player at Seminole High School in Sanford before getting recruited to FSU. He remains in stable condition at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital.
Tonight, 2 Volusia County students are facing some serious charges after deputies say they snuck into Friendship Elementary School in Deltona and vandalized the media center over the weekend. They're accused of causing about $50,000 worth of damage, shattering a glass door, discharging a fire extinguisher, painting racial slurs on the walls, and throwing supplies on the floor. Sheriff Mike Chitwood says the 12 and 13-year-olds were turned in this morning by their own moms, shortly after the sheriff's office posted video of them wearing masks inside the school.
I got to give the moms credit. They called us. They didn't tell the kids we were coming. And when they were questioned, they confessed to what they did. One of them then went up to the bedroom and got out some items that were stolen from the school, a radio and some digital cameras, and turned them over to us.
When questioned as to why they would do this, the two told deputies they were bored. They are both facing several felony charges now and have been released back to their parents from juvenile detention. Meanwhile, an employee at an elementary school in DeLand is facing charges. Officers arrested Armando Aarons on Friday after other employees at Blue Lake Elementary claimed he said he wanted to put a bomb in another colleague's car and blow it up. They also claim Aarons had made comments about having expertise in making explosives. He was arrested on making a false bomb threat a felony. He posted $5,000 bond on Saturday.
New video from a nearby business shows the heartbreaking moments a driver gets her car stuck on the tracks on Friday as a Brightline train approaches. Now, we have paused the video just before that deadly collision happens. Your Rockledge community correspondent, James Sparvero, takes us through what happened.
The deadly impact when police say an 83-year-old drove through a railroad crossing arm and was killed in the path of a Brightline train as her car exploded. This tragic collision happened Friday in Rockledge here at US 1 and Eyster Boulevard, and a doctor's office here at the intersection just gave me this video of the collision. You can see as other cars are stopped, police say 83-year-old Eleonora Mitchell from Rockledge runs into the crossing arm, and as it goes over her car, she gets onto the tracks. Police told me they don't know why she did that.
It's sad. I don't know why she, would try to do that. I don't know why she was in such a hurry.
In January 2024, police said 2 drivers caused fatal wrecks driving around crossing arms at the same crossing in Melbourne. Back then, Brightline just started its Orlando to South Florida route a few months earlier, and so I asked Mayor Paul Alfrey about how to stop drivers from doing this again.
Even if these are not Brightline's fault, is this a moment where you think something needs to change?
Well, yeah, I've spoken to Brightline officials, and we're going to do a public safety campaign.
That included these safety markers down the middle of Jackson Street in Melbourne. The Space Coast Transportation Planning Organization just gave me this updated list of crossings in the county expected to be improved in the next couple of years. And I've asked Brightline about how the driver was able to drive through the crossing arm. We'll add any new information to clickorlando.com. In Rockledge, Brevard County, I'm your community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
Well, the work week got off to a slightly cooler and drier start than last week, but meteorologist Jonathan Kagas is also watching the tropics.
That's right. We do have a disturbance out there. Should not be a concern for Florida. Still a couple of sprinkles hanging around Kissimmee, St. Cloud. We'll track those and talk about some rain chances going up a smidge for tomorrow in about 5 minutes.
First, though, rotten smells in downtown Sanford. Next at 10, we track down the source of the terrible stench that's making neighbors sick and the city's plan to fix it.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Monday night. We're covering Fruitland Park, Heathrow, and all of Central Florida.
Now on News 6, if you live in or visit Sanford and you've noticed a certain smell in recent weeks, you're not alone.
Yeah, people say it flat out stinks, and it seems like it's getting worse. So your Sanford community correspondent, Catherine Silver, is looking into the complaints and the city's solution.
You smell it right now.
The breeze that Antonio Echeverria begs for on a summer day can also send an unpleasant stench to his street.
That smell, it's terrible.
It's so bad, some days the smell is unavoidable.
Do you think it's getting worse?
It's getting worse. From 1 to 10, 9.5. Serious.
He says it's seriously sickening.
It can make you sick on the stomach.
Rotten.
Kind of off-putting.
Like raw sewage.
It's like raw wet. You can smell it from like a mile or two down the road.
The complaints come from around downtown Sanford, depending on which way the wind is blowing.
Where do you think it's coming from?
That I do not know.
What is the answer?
I think a lot of it's coming from the sewage treatment plant.
Mayor Art Woodruff tells us the city is aware of the problem.
We've got 2 odor control units that are supposed to be working there. One of them was just replaced. There's also one other place, it's called the solar dryer. It's supposed to take the last of the moisture out, and that system also is not working. Our contractor will be on site October 6th to start repairs on that.
So this is a symptom of equipment not working the way it's supposed to?
Yeah, it's a equipment failure.
Are you hopeful this will fix the smell? People say it's been years that there's been a smell here.
Well, and there's always going to be some odor coming from a sewage treatment plant. We can control it, and we need to do a better job of that and be more proactive with the maintenance, which we are starting to do.
Echeverria just moved here from New Jersey with his wife.
I'm telling you, if I would have known this, never would have bought the house here.
This home is their dream, their retirement.
There's no way that you're going to smell that every time you come out of the house.
And it reeks.
I'm old, 76 years old. I don't want this.
In Sanford, Catherine Silver, News 6.
I mean, when you hear that a sewage treatment plant part failed, you don't want to hear that. And that's the result. You get that.
You want to sit out on your back patio and drink a little coffee in the morning.
You just want some fresh air.
Not going to happen.
Your Brevard County community correspondent James Barbero showed you some adorable Maltese dogs on Friday. These guys, these sweet faces, are currently at the SPCA in Brevard County. And as James told us, they are looking for permanent homes. And today, we have an exciting update to share. James tells us 7 of them were adopted over the weekend. He says 6 more will be available later this week. All were rescued from a hoarding case. James also tells us a mom and 6 puppies that are only about 2 weeks old will remain with the SPCA for a while longer before they are available for adoption. Now, even if you aren't looking for a Maltese, this is a good time to find a new pet with the SPCA at capacity. All cats and dogs older than 7 months are now just $7 through Friday.
No surprise, those dogs went like hotcakes.
And the rest of them will as well. You can find how to reach the SPCA inside this story on clickorlando.com.
Well, Saturday marked a huge milestone for Central Florida's Make-A-Wish chapter. Outside of the theme parks, it's barely even spooky season for decorations.
But I guess it's never too soon to be thinking about Christmas, right?
So take a look. A member of the News 6 family spotted workers from We Hang Christmas Lights out at Lake Eola today. They were hanging and testing Christmas lights in the park. While there is no official announcement yet, the official Orlando Christmas tree lighting is typically the first Saturday in December. So they're already getting started.
I was at
totally
the Costco over the weekend, and they had all their Christmas things out, and there was one thing that I wanted. They were already sold out.
They were sold out of your Christmas thing you wanted?
Okay.
Correct.
So you're not the only crazy one. That's what you're telling me.
I'm not crazy by any stretch of the imagination.
It is the middle of September, and especially the lights down there, there's a lot of them. It takes a while to get that
started. To work. It's true. Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, it felt a little fallish over the weekend.
A little bit. I like it. Fall-ish for sure. I mean, it was a break. No, I mean, we went through 3 months of the furnace, and I mean,
We earned this.
We did. When you shave off a little bit of humidity around these parts, we can tell. Temperatures right now into the mid-70s. We're at 74 at the Cape. We're at 82 still in Titusville. New Smyrna, good evening. We are at 77 degrees. Groveland, we're also at 77. It's all about the dew point. Again, this is what came down over the weekend. We were talking about it really dating back to 2 Fridays ago that we were going to have this opportunity, and certainly delivered. Dew point temperatures into the mid to upper 60s across most of Central Florida. Again, that still puts us in the humid category. This weekend, we were kind of teetering around the comfortable to tolerable range. In the middle of the summer, we're up here in the very humid to tropical area. So certainly a nice change. Here's a live look outside downtown Orlando. Love this shot here with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam shows all the attractions. We're back to the upper 70s right now. The breeze out of the northeast at about 10 miles an hour. It's that northeasterly wind again, pumping in some of that drier air. Nothing really on the radar right now. There could be a few more areas to watch tomorrow. I still don't think widespread. We can track those downpours by downloading the free News 6 weather app. A couple of sprinkles hanging around Point Siena tonight. Most of the green you see on the screen right here is ground clutter. That's not actually rain. It's just a radar beam running into something and kind of gets contaminated. There's 11 o'clock for you on your Monday evening. Again, we're doing pretty good. Overnight, we could have a straight downpour trying to stream up from the south. Starting your day tomorrow, we should be on the drier side, and I think a lot of us are dry again tomorrow. You do see we pop a couple of thunderstorms. That's Tuesday, tomorrow evening at 7 to 8 o'clock. We're going to focus around and about I-4 again, and then to the south and east. That's been the theme over the last few days, so I do think we're going to be on the drier side from Palm Coast to Ocala, back into Bushnell, Lake Panasoffkee as well. Now here's a look at tomorrow's forecast. Again, rain chances up a little bit to 30%. I still think most of us are dry. Back to the upper 80s in Kissimmee, 89 in Leesburg tomorrow. And going forward, I think we're going to slowly increase rain chances. Latest on the tropics, there is our disturbance, Invest 92L. Again, it's that special designation the Hurricane Center gives to a disturbance when they want to run the specialized hurricane models. Here's the latest modeling. Takes it to the north a little bit, then back to the west, and that's what we like right there. Another shift up to the north. We're watching for our friends in Bermuda, but this one should not pay a visit to the southeast corner of the United States. Should stay far, far away. 30% shot for storms tomorrow and Wednesday, 40% chance on Thursday. A little bit higher, guys, going into the weekend.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, it's something we simply love to see, a great example of neighbors helping neighbors.
We don't want people to feel alone or isolated. We want everyone to know they're seen and they're loved and they're invited in.
Next at 10, why volunteers are showing up to homes offering free help with yard work.
I'm in Castleberry, where volunteers from Community Flourishing Initiative are helping clean up properties throughout the city as part of their Neighbor to Neighbor event. 8 local churches, local businesses, and city employees are all involved in helping their neighbors get their homes up to code and helping the community flourish.
The city of Castleberry came by and they said that they want to send people to my house for free. I'm confused. I was like, what's the catch here?
Stephanie Harold had trouble keeping up with a large yard outside her Castleberry home, and the city's code compliance officers paid her a visit, not to fine her, but to offer help.
That's why we're not code enforcement, we're code compliance. We want to work with the neighbors because everybody flourishes when you're working with the neighbors.
They put her in touch with the Community Flourishing Initiatives, a nonprofit whose volunteers showed up with mowers and weed whackers on Saturday morning, eager to help.
Their yards that are overgrown and messy are often a reflection that there's something going on inside their personal lives or the home. Some of these people are elderly, disabled, sick, lost a loved one, mental health issues, or just feeling completely overwhelmed by life.
Neighbors on Colony Drive cheered when volunteers showed up to this home where they say the owner's hoarding has gotten out of hand, bringing rats to the neighborhood. They've been trying to get something done about it for over 10 years.
Something is finally happening. It's a thing of beauty. Yes, when I saw them pull in yesterday, I rejoiced over that.
The volunteers from 8 churches of different denominations, side by side with city employees, filled 3 dumpsters full of junk for the city to cart away, leaving behind a cleaner, happier neighborhood.
Thank you for coming out this day together as one body.
Shane Cahoot, the nonprofit's executive director, says the efforts are gaining momentum. 130 volunteers showed up last Saturday, and neighboring cities are starting to get in on it.
We don't want people to feel alone or isolated. We want everyone to know they're seen and they're loved and they're invited in.
In Castleberry, Alex Cook, News 6.
That's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were doing a forecast. Hey, we'll see you back here again tonight at 11.
All right, have a great night. What is wrong with
I'm
you?
looking at Jonathan for a forecast.